Guess what? You can measure and describe something called financial independence, which means having enough money to live without a job. But there's more. According to Grant Sabatier, there are not just one or two levels beyond independence, but a total of 7 levels of wealth. Knowing where you stand in this wealth scale is crucial because it helps you take steps towards becoming financially free. So, what are the 7 levels of wealth? Starting with the first level, which is dependence. If you're in this stage, it means you rely on someone else to take care of you. People in this category are usually kids, teenagers, or even recent college graduates who don't have a full-time job or enough savings to support themselves. Surprisingly, a report by savings.com found that about half of parents still financially support their grown-up children. So if your parents are still helping you out, you're technically considered dependent. Even someone like your friend Chad, who seems to have all the money and opportunities in the world, might still be in this category. Chad might have wealthy parents and lots of chances in front of him. But as long as he's getting financial support from his parents, he's still considered dependent. All jokes aside, this phase usually continues until you start making your own money and taking care of your own bills. The second stage is called survival. In this stage, you're basically trying to make ends meet and pay your bills without getting into debt. Surprisingly, 61% of Americans report living paycheck to paycheck, which means they are likely in this survival stage. You could find yourself in this stage, even if you've just started your career and are earning a decent income. Maybe you haven't had enough time to save money or build a financial safety net. However, it's also a stage where you could get stuck. For example, I have a friend who's 27 years old and makes $63,000 a year in the expensive Bay Area. She struggles to save money because of the high cost of living, a new car payment, and not tracking her expenses. She also has 2 pets, which add to her monthly expenses. She manages to save a bit each month, but one big unexpected expense could wipe out her savings. In her case, I've suggested that she switch jobs to increase her income and create a bigger gap between what she earns and what she spends. When you're in the survival stage, most of your paycheck goes toward covering your expenses. To move forward, you need to focus on controlling your spending because that's something you can directly manage. A helpful exercise is to review your credit card and bank statements from the past 3 months to see where your money is going. This awareness can help you make better financial choices. Being in the survival stage isn't the worst place to be, and many Americans are in this stage. But if you're diligent and work on improving your financial skills and knowledge, you can move on to the next level. The third stage is financial stability. In this stage, you're better prepared for unexpected expenses, and you're probably making enough money to enjoy a decent quality of life. You might even go on a vacation once or twice a year, although they might not be extravagant trips. Financially, you can plan for the next 6 months, but thinking beyond that might be a bit challenging. At the stability level, you likely have 3 key characteristics. You have an emergency fund of at least 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses saved up. This is important in case you lose your job or face unexpected financial setbacks. You're not living paycheck to paycheck anymore. You can easily cover your bills and have some money left over. You've started thinking about saving for retirement or other big expenses like a down payment on a house. Reaching level 3 is crucial because it reduces the stress about money. However, your financial journey isn't complete yet. You still need to take the right steps to ensure your financial independence in the future, especially if you have student loans or other debts. When it comes to liquid cash money, you can access easily. Let's consider an example. If your yearly expenses are around $40,000, which includes everything from rent and transportation to food and entertainment, then your monthly spending is about $3,333. In this case, a financially stable person should ideally have an emergency fund of $10,000 to $20,000 equivalent to 3 to 6 months of living expenses, $5,000 to $10,000 in their checking account for everyday spending, perhaps $5,000 in a high-yield savings account, or some money invested. So, in total, you might need to have somewhere between $20,000 to $40,000 in liquid cash to be financially stable, depending on your situation. More importantly, you're likely earning an annual salary between $65,000 to $90,000, allowing you to cover your expenses and save between 8 to 20% per year. It's worth noting that progressing from one level to the next might take a while. You could spend several years in each stage before moving on. However, as you build your financial knowledge and increase your savings and investments, you can gradually move up the ladder. Now, let's talk about the next level, which is financial security. It's a bit different from financial independence, which we'll discuss later in this video. Financial security means you can easily pay your bills without any worry. You're at a point where you don't stress about the cost of your bills anymore. Instead, you're more focused on growing your wealth within your investment portfolio. You're getting to a stage where even significant setbacks, like losing your job for 6 to 12 months, won't derail your financial goals in the bigger picture. Importantly, financial security doesn't solely come from having a high income. Surprisingly, some people with six-figure incomes still live paycheck to paycheck. So, having a higher income doesn't automatically put you in this stage. Financial security is more about having a relatively high income compared to your expenses. In other words, you're likely living well below your means. If you're younger, say under 25 or 30, you're probably not financially secure because you have many variables in your life that aren't settled yet. You don't know if you'll have kids or where you'll permanently settle down, making it challenging to predict your annual expenses. Financial security is often achieved later in life, around ages 35, 40, 45, and beyond. When you've established your financial foundation, know your annual expenses, and are saving for significant goals like your children's college education. Another goal at this stage is to try to pay off your mortgage if you haven't already and increase your savings rate. The national average savings rate for individuals is around 4.5%, but you're aiming to increase it to 15 to 20% if you haven't already done so. Even if you're financially secure, you're likely still budget conscious for the most part. However, you can occasionally indulge in luxury items without harming your financial stability. Now, let's talk about the fifth level, which is financial independence. This is often a significant goal for many people because it means your investments fully cover your lifestyle expenses. You might have heard about communities like FIRE, Financial Independence, Retire Early, and their main passion is being able to live off their investments. Their specific definition of financial independence is being able to withdraw 4% of their total portfolio value every year to sustain their lifestyle indefinitely. To achieve this, you typically aim to build a net worth that's at least 25 times your annual expenses. For example, if your yearly expenses are $40,000, you'd aim for a portfolio of $1 million, which would allow you to live off $40,000 annually. The hope is that your investment returns can replace the income you're withdrawing. Technically, at this stage, you could consider yourself retired and work becomes optional. However, many people who reach this point still choose to work, but they do so on their own terms. Some continue working because they want to fund a more luxurious lifestyle, while others find work that they're passionate about and truly enjoy. Financial independence also typically means that you've paid off most, if not all, of your debts, including your mortgage. You've also saved enough for your children's future needs, so every financial obligation you can think of is covered. At this stage, you're primarily concerned with your own living expenses, which are being covered by your investment income. That's when you can consider yourself financially independent. Now, let's talk about the final level, which is financial freedom. This is technically the second to last level, but it's the last level for 99.9% of people out there. Financial freedom means you have the freedom to do whatever you want whenever you want. At this point, you're living life to the fullest, and your investments are more than enough to cover your lifestyle. Some people even call this FU money as in, look what I found in my pocket. A year's salary. It means you can live your preferred lifestyle without ever worrying about running out of money. In practical terms, this means you can take luxurious vacations around the world, afford the luxuries you desire, and pursue virtually anything you want. You might not be at the private jet level of wealth, but that's not even a necessity at this point. You wake up feeling comfortable, without a care in the world regarding financial obligations. At this level, your focus shifts to how you can spend your time to bring the most happiness and fulfillment. Hopefully, you've been working towards this throughout your life, but it's at this point when the financial burdens are completely removed and it's just about deciding how you want to spend your time. Now, the last level is a level that very, very few people will ever achieve, and it's known as financial abundance. This is like the next level of wealth. And honestly, I debated whether to include it in this video because not many people reach this level. Achieving financial abundance typically takes an extremely long time, or if you're very young, it might require a significant windfall like selling a company or going public IPO. At this point, you've gone way beyond financial freedom. If you're financially abundant, you're likely thinking about how to leave a lasting legacy or impact on the world. Money is no longer a concern. You have more money than you could ever need. Your children are well taken care of, and maybe even your grandchildren. Your focus shifts to maximizing the time you have left on this earth. You can attend most events because you can simply buy your way in. You might have multiple houses, a private jet, and you probably engage in generous philanthropy. If you want to go to space, you might even start your own space company because there are no financial barriers in your way. Of course, you don't have to be as famous as Elon Musk or Richard Branson, but the idea is that if you're financially abundant, you have an abundance of money, and you can use it to pursue just about anything you desire. Which level of wealth are you currently in? Let me know down in the comments. I would love to hear from you. I'll see you guys in the next video.